Today I want to talk to you about a topic that I think is on a lot of Americans' minds right now. And actually, maybe not just America, maybe internationally as well. Tariffs are here. President Trump has been talking about tariffs. He loves tariffs. I'm not here to say whether it's right or wrong. That's a whole nother topic. But what I would like to discuss is how is it going to affect your reselling business? Is it going to be good for it? Is it going to be bad for it? Are there things that we should consider as resellers? So let's get into this information a bit. Well, welcome to the channel. My name is Ann and I've been reselling for quite some time. And this channel is all about tips and tricks for reselling and building a community of like-minded people who are interested in the reselling business. I sell mostly on eBay. I also sell on other platforms as well at times. We also do flea markets, and you just never know where we're going to be. Like the channel says, reselling is an adventure. Today we're talking about tariffs, and I'm not quite sure if everybody understands what a tariff is, but I'm sure you do. But basically, a tariff is a tax on imported products. Tariffs are going up. They are being increased all the time. Right now, it's day by day on what different tariffs are for different countries. And that's, when we import things, there's tariffs. When other countries import, they have tariffs. So all countries have tariffs at different rates. Tariffs are increasing. Now, some of the products that are commonly to be affected by tariffs would be products like electronics is huge. We definitely import a lot of electronics. Apparel, tools, home good items. And with all of these tariffs, I am going to tell you that cost of items are probably going to be inflated for a while. How is that going to affect us as resellers? So I'd like to get into this a little bit more. As I discuss this though, I will pull some items, and I'm going to pull my first item right away. So I had to dig for this a little bit. Let me pull it out of the baggie here. This is really cute. It's a little tiny, it's Patagonia, and it's a Mickey Mouse head charm. So it's very, very tiny. I had to dig a little bit to find it in my drawer. I have drawers for smaller items as well. And this sold for $22.79 free shipping, but shipping is going to be very minimal on that item. The next item is a boat part. So this is a harness assembly. It is for Mercury boats. Quicksilver is the brand, and we have purchased a storage unit full of boat parts. Most of them were for Mercury and our Quicksilver brand. So if you see me pulling a lot of those, that is why. The price on that one sold for $35, and the customer did pay shipping. So let's talk about how these tariffs may affect sellers, resellers, or direct sellers in a negative way. Now, for anyone who is importing anything, so say you're purchasing items from Alibaba or you source from other countries in any way, well, there are going to be tariffs on it. And so your cost to get those products in, those costs are going to go up just because of tariffs. And are you going to be able to pass those costs on to your customer? I think the majority of sellers are going to be passing those costs on to their customers. That's what's going to cost everything to go up in this country. Now, there are certain things that are not affected by tariffs, things that we source locally and that we do not import. Now, here's the big question. Are you going to be able to pass the whole increase in your cost to your customer? My guess is you're going to be able to probably pass on a good percentage because you're not alone. It's across the board that people are seeing these increases. But you might not be able to pass the full cost, at least not initially. It may take time to increase those prices to your customer. In those cases, it could affect your margins. And it's something that you need to be prepared for. Now, I will tell you that for us, we're selling mostly used items. We are not importing items, but there is concerns about packaging supplies. That would be a big thing that we buy new to keep our business running. I personally was in the industry of raw materials for the plastics industry. And I can tell you the majority of your bubble wrap, mailers, things like that, most of the materials for it, I'm not going to say all, but a good majority of those materials are sourced domestically to make those products. Now, that does not mean that the cost of those items are not going to go up because those businesses still have equipment and they may have other things that they need to run their company that are going to go on up just because of the inflation with other products. So I am not going to say that the cost of your bubble wrap and your packaging supplies are not going to go up, but the good thing is the plastics to make it are usually sourced domestically. Things that can affect it are gas and oil prices that definitely can increase it, but also the costs for those companies who are producing your bubble wrap, they have other costs that will probably go up as well. So I am still expecting that your costs for bubble wrap, your boxes, your mailers are probably going to go up as well. And it's the cost of doing business. It's part of it. And I don't expect to be able to pass on a good percentage of that to my customer. I think that it is just going to be something that's going to eat into our margins. I guess that is something to consider, and it might be something that in the end you might want to purchase some of those items ahead of time and stock up on them if you have the space and you have the funds to be able to do that. It's one way to get around those extra costs of the inflation of selling items. Let's pick another item. So this is Blue Oyster Cult, and we have had this in our inventory for quite some time. So it did go on a pretty good sale. I believe it went on 50% off. So it did only sell for $12.50, but the good thing is the customer did pay for shipping. So it's not too bad, and it's been something we've had around for a while. So I'm glad to get it moving and get it to somebody who's going to love it and enjoy it. All right, so one more item. Let's see here. I really overpackaged that one. It's so heavy. No more adding to that bucket for now. So this is a set of snap-on sockets. They are metrics and they are the deep socket. This sold for $120 free shipping. Again, if you ever see Snap-on, Matco, Mac Tools, definitely pick them up. They'll sell, and they usually sell fairly quickly. I listed this, I believe on Sunday, and by Monday they were already sold. So those are the negatives of the tariffs. It is going to affect our margins. I really believe they are going to affect our margins, and I think some of those margins are going to be eaten by the seller. Some will get passed on to the buyer, but for the most part, I think the seller is going to eat part of those costs. Here's the other end of it. This is where I think it might help us as sellers, especially people who are selling used products. Our business plan is that we purchase not old, but used products that we resell to somebody who's going to find them and love them. They might be vintage items. They might be things that they need to use at work, you know, like the tools that we've purchased, or vintage records that you just love and enjoy, boat parts to enjoy your products. Well, those aren't going to increase because of tariff costs. Those are going to be more valuable, I believe, as time goes on. Inflation is going to hit, costs are going to go up, and I don't believe incomes are going to go up with it. I just don't believe that our cost of living will go up, but our incomes will not. And when that happens, people get really tight on money. They still have to pay their rent. They still have to pay electric. They still have to put food on the table. But you know what? They still have to put clothes on the racks. And so there's a great item to sell. They still want to enjoy things like the records. They still need tools for work. Those are all things that are still going to sell, but I don't believe people are going to want to pay full price for them as much as they used to. When you have the funds, it's really easy to go run out and grab that new item. But when you're tight on money, eBay is a great source. And so I believe people are going to go look for quality used products. Like I told you earlier in the video, we bought out a storage unit full of boat parts. So we were on a records kick. And we did actually recently purchase some more records as well. So that video is coming out soon, so you might want to check that one out. But now we're also selling a lot of boat parts, OMC, mostly for like Mercury, Johnson. So this is an OMC, which would be Evinrude, Johnson. They are OEM parts. This one is a fuel pump with a gasket, and it sold for $40, and the customer did purchase shipping. And then this is OMC pinion. So again, Johnson, Evinrude, those type of boats. This one sold for $16.15 free shipping. So this was sent out on an offer and they accepted it. So how do you take advantage of the benefits of the tariffs? If you talk to some of the richest men in the world, they'll say the best time or when they made their riches was in a down market. So how can we take advantage of these tariffs? First off, look for products that people want or need. I mean, need is a big thing. If you can't afford things, you're buying things that you need. So clothing is a big one, tools for work. Products such as those are going to do really good. But people are still going to want to enjoy things. So the music and things like that, I wouldn't shy away from that either. When you're tight on money, you tend to do more things at home. Things such as the records or the boat parts for working on projects at home, those aren't such bad things either. So make sure you're purchasing items that are quality, things that you'll use, and, advertise the fact that there are value in buying used over new. A lot of people are getting away from buying the fast merchandise and they want quality products. So offer those quality products and get them listed. Now is the time to list. Let's see what else we got to pull here. Okay, so this is a service manual for Mercury boats. It is 115, 135, 150, 175 Optimax direct fuel injection. One thing I will say, we're going to be listing a lot of these. This has been my biggest project right now, is listing these manuals. I have cases of boat manuals right now that I'm in the process of listing. I got 2 boxes full listed, and I think I still have about 4 more boxes. So if you're looking for boat manuals, I got them for you. I would say manuals, repair manuals are great items to sell. Old cars. What I've really found is items like boats or ATVs, specialty items are even more looked out for when you're looking for service manuals. And one thing I do is I just take a piece of cardboard and wrap it around the back, and then I'll ship this in a plastic bag. So our next one, this is by OMC, so it's an OEM part. It's a power pack assembly. And so this sold for $75 and the customer paid shipping, so I'm pretty happy with that sale. I want to give you a little bit of a bonus tip here with these tariffs. You know what? The US is not the only one affected by these tariffs. Worldwide, customers are looking at finding value because these tariffs are affecting not just the US, but they're international. So my suggestion would be to use eBay's international shipping program. I don't suggest shipping internationally on your own. There's a lot of laws that need to be considered. eBay will keep up with these if you use their international shipping program. And they even take care of the custom forms, and you know, you just don't really have to deal with anything. All you do is eBay has different sites around the US where you ship the product to. They take care of the custom forms. I know a lot of people have the question of, with these tariffs, is the seller responsible for the tariffs? And duties are always a concern, custom fees. Those are all handled by eBay, and the buyer pays for those fees, not the seller. And so, you know, you want to expand your audience and get more sales, I would really suggest eBay's international shipping. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I know this is a touchy subject, the tariffs. It's affecting us all, and it's going to affect us more. The one thing I will say with tariffs is you usually don't see the costs of tariffs when they first hit. It will affect the stock market for sure because people get nervous. But the cost of your goods, especially if they're being manufactured and things like that, it takes time for those goods to come. The items that are going to be affected by the tariffs are not even on the shelves yet. And so it will come in the future. So if there's things that you do need to buy it now. If there's things like bubble wrap or things like that, I think you'll be okay for the most part. I think they will be affected a bit though. So if you want to stock up, not a bad deal. But I think you can also take advantage of these tariffs, and I think you can really dig out a good benefit for yourself. So just get listing, keep working, and enjoy what you're doing. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy your selling. So happy selling.